Negotiations are underway for the city's newest homeless shelter. We now know who bought the warehouse and is holding it for the city. The building is at 4320 East Trent Avenue. That's about a half-mile east of Spokane Community College and a half-mile north of Avista Stadium. We told you about the news and the location first here on 4 News Now. Esther Bauer introduces us to the person who wants to lease it to the city. Esther.
Well, Aaron, you may know Larry Stone from the documentary Curing Spokane, which he produced back in 2019. He was worried about the direction of the growing homelessness crisis back then. Today, he tells me things are much worse, so he made himself part of the solution. Just a month ago, Larry Stone purchased this warehouse. He's an industrial developer who wants the city to sign the lease.
We have several people interested in renting, but we've held off because we want to get a good facility for the city.
A new homeless shelter so people aren't sleeping on the streets or camping out in neighborhoods.
I think we're attracting certain bad elements to Spokane because we have so many services and because we're allowing this outdoor camping.
The new shelter will create a lot of bed space. Some homeless advocates feel it may be too big to fix the problem.
Smaller shelters of 50 to 60 people is what is recommended because it gives you a more close-in, hands-on opportunity to work with people.
Maurice, the city looked at nearly 100 locations. They were shot down by every neighborhood. The surrounding businesses says, we don't want a shelter in my backyard. What is your response to instilling best practices if no one in our community even wants a shelter by them?
Well, I think one of the first things we have to do to address this issue of NIMBYism, that is not in my backyard, I don't want a shelter here, is we've got to change our attitude towards the homeless.
Stone wants to see something different for his hometown, which is something everyone appears to agree on.
The situation has become far, far worse over the last 2 years, and something has to be done about it.
Glad to see a new shelter coming online because even a mega shelter is better than no shelter at all.
And Stone purchased the building for $3.5 million. If the lease negotiations continue, he told me today he'd like to see the new shelter open in 2 to 3 months. The next big question we're pressing the city on is what provider will be the ones running this shelter. Reporting in studio tonight, Esther Bauer, 4 News Now.